my son and his pregnant wife can't move in because their house is flooded due to a broken fire hydrant. So, my son and his pregnant wife were expecting their first child, and they'd been planning to move into their new home. Unfortunately, their house was flooded due to a broken fire hydrant, and they couldn't move in yet. We're more than happy to help them out, so they're currently staying with us temporarily until their home is fixed. As they're expecting a baby any day now, we've been having conversations about the logistics of their birth plan, as well as how we can support their new family, including potentially hosting the birth at our home if needed. They're getting close to their due date, and we're excited to welcome our new grandchild. So, when my son and his wife told me about their flooded house, we all agreed that they would come live with me for a bit until they could get everything sorted out. Given that she was also due to give birth soon, we started discussing potential living arrangements and birth plan changes. We talked about the possibility of her giving birth at my home, which I thought was a great idea considering the current situation with her house. My son suggested that it would be more convenient for her to have a home birth, especially since she's been very particular about having a natural birth with minimal interventions. We all thought it was a good plan, and I even offered to set up a little birth pool in my guest bathroom for her to use. My daughter-in-law seemed on board with the idea, but we never actually finalized any of the details. She mentioned something about needing to discuss it further with her doctor, but I thought we were all on the same page. Well, as we were discussing everything, we were all on the same page. They were going to be moving in, I would be helping out with the birth, and everything seemed fine. But then, a few days ago, my daughter-in-law came to me and said that she'd been thinking a lot about the birth plan, and she didn't think it was a good idea for her to give birth at my house anymore. Apparently, her mom was getting a little worried about the whole situation with the flooding, and was also concerned about her being an older first-time mom, and didn't want her to have a home birth. Plus, she said that her husband felt more comfortable having a hospital birth, where medical professionals would be present in case of any complications. I get it, I really do, but it's still hard not to feel a little bit taken aback by the sudden change in plans. I mean, we'd already started making all these arrangements, preparing the nursery, and getting everything ready for them to move in. It's just been a bit of a shock to have it all change like that. I have to admit, I'm still trying to process all the emotions that come with this situation. I was initially relieved that my son and daughter-in-law would be staying with us, but the more they started discussing their birth plan, the more I felt a sense of ownership and responsibility. I know it sounds crazy, but I felt like I was going to be a part of something special, and I wanted to be able to provide that safe and intimate environment for my daughter-in-law to give birth. When I found out she was changing her plans and going back to the hospital, I have to admit, I felt a little hurt and offended. I felt like our home wasn't good enough, and that's not something that I expected to hear from my own child. That's why I'm sharing this story today. I want to know if I was in the wrong for expecting more from this experience. Was it selfish of me to want to be a part of this moment, or was it a reasonable request considering the circumstances? I want to know if I ruined the birth plan not just for my daughter-in-law, but for myself as well.